Hi, it's Emilian, and Wednesday, June 3, 8:15 p.m. I'm in Toronto. I want to tell you something about this George Floyd thing as an old saint, as trying to follow Jesus, as a man that has dream, prophetic dream every day. What's my take on this? Well, first of all, personally, I remember one time I was a girlfriend and we had a scuffle. I went to jail and they asked me what happened. I went to jail for 2 weeks. They asked me what happened. That's 20 years ago. And I told her the story when it started to go bad. I said I did art all day. She was sleeping. I went to another room. We had a 3 bedroom apartment. I was 20 years old like her. And she came drunk the night before. So with her friends, I stay home doing art. And she comes. We're both young. And so I go to sleep around, I don't know, 6 a.m., 5 a.m. The whole night I was drawing and had my style, everything. And she comes waking me up. You know, when you stay up all night and somebody wakes you up like a couple hours only, you're kind of a bit dizzy. But I was young, so I said, "Oh, I'm sleeping." I said, "Where's my $20?" "I don't know. I'm sleeping." "Where's my 20?" Starts to scream. I just woke up and I gently, with two hands, step her back like 3, 4 times. And maybe because of the shock and the love, she starts to cry, but there was no pushing, no hard stuff. Actually, I remember she says she put her hands right there and I smiled. Pretty sure that's the time. And she says, "Ah, you're the devil." Oh, I don't know. That's not the time. But it was the same spot. I don't know why she did that one time. I don't know. Was it? And maybe so. And she called her mom. Her mom, she says, "My mom wants to talk to you." All I'm thinking is going back to bed. I didn't took her $20. I don't know what she's talking about. So I said no. Her mom, because of that, called the cops. Her mom later on said, when my daughter's crying and somebody doesn't want to talk to me, I call. So the guy comes. He arrests me, and by the way, when the cops arrest you, you better shut up and somehow, look, me, we were living upstairs, and I'm like jealous. He's like, "Jealous?" And there's a whole stair we gotta go down, and because of that, I said, "I think I'm gonna shut up." He's like, "Yeah, I think so too." So you still like common sense. So, you do something crime, don't start to be because, you know, they thinking about maybe somebody's gonna get shot. So they get shot sometimes, and now you're mad. And they're trying to protect also the world. Whatever, if that one particular is corrupt or not, is easy going on violence. Uh, Common law, you should take it with your lawyers, comply, and that's it. So I don't know what this man apparently. I heard to not talk against him. What happened is bad. Um, he might have played by the books if it's true that he had a $20. Doing this in coronavirus time, it's a bit low. It's a bit bad. We live in the Western Canada. We're called to move the gospel of the Christ, and we don't. A lot of us complacent. We're gonna have to account for this one day. God's gonna say, "You see, that person died without you, because she didn't even have something to eat, and you didn't care about nothing. You knew I was the truth, and you didn't share nothing. You know, not even my word that could have saved her soul before they die physically." We're gonna have account that, we're taking, oh, life should be like Canadian or big and easy going, but a lot of other places are not like this, and because of that, we are guilty. There's a balance. You see, not all the whole world can live like this, being lazy and free of everything almost. So that $20, I remember in jail, when I went out, she told a story about something else, and the guy says, or the lawyer, $20. And I was like, "Huh?" She says, "Oh, because of $20." It was for that, not only for that, but that's how it started. And this is what happened to this man that got killed, George Floyd. They say there was a call, apparently, or maybe not. First, there was drunk or something. That's what I read. Maybe a fake $20 bill. Uh, that's low if that's true. But if he was ready to go to jail like he went before 5 years, if he gets caught, that's fine. That's part of the system here in America. In other countries, if you do it, you gotta be ready to maybe die in some Arabic country or get punched and hit. Maybe in Russia, I don't think they like that. It's like stealing the whole system. I never heard, but I'm pretty sure, like with their macho and uh, don't fuck around the system. And but here you're like, I'll get arrested and do times, right? That's, if we were playing a board game, that's the rule of the game, not him to be dead. Now if he fake or not, because there's this camera, they see the camera and all, he has a lot of experienced friends that he can, with this lawyer, try to beat up. You go in jail 5 years, they tell you, oh, if they touch you a little bit, you can beat up, and they talk about all this, fake or not, claustrophobic. How come he was in the car before? He got arrested before, even in jail 5 years. What claustrophobic? I don't know. But whatever it is or not, to what degree, certainly was not deserving this. Now, the people who movie that, I know myself that I would have screamed a lot, step. And if I was scared to step because you would have some police officer, like the Asian who was there close to the other one that kneeled a gun, I would have screamed, hey, it's enough. Like, hey man, I would have tried to step up. Like, what's going on? You're gonna kill him. Like, instead, I think one of her friend movie it for maybe a viral or not. I know some people were not happy. Uh, for the police to use that, also you have to know, like, there's some force. It's a bit too much. By the way, remember that some people have breathing problem. You can't take for granted that everybody's breathing good by the nose, or or having a perfect breathing. Okay, I do so know. So because I have a cross like this for Jesus. Now, I myself got arrested one time when I was 17. One of my friends in RCMP, we went in the woods, bought a long shot hair gun, and for the small one he had, he said, well, look, we're going in the woods tonight camping, everybody, I'll sell it to you $20 or 40. I don't have the money, I'll give it to me when you have. Okay, 17, starting maybe to work soon, or welfare, whatever. Okay, and take it, we go to a discotheque, we come out, somebody's fighting outside. Me, no father, I take it, taking a bad shot from the back. They open it, I don't know why, so I take it, I put it in my wrist. And there was that movie, Romeo and Juliet, and I wanted to be a poet and everything. So there was a fight, and just to show up, I take it out. But I do like this is, it's a fake gun, and smile 1 second, I put it back. We were not in fighting, not talking, not, I didn't aim at nobody especially. Like, I just show it off in middle of nothing, nowhere near. Somebody calls the cops in that little neighborhood north of Montreal, and says somebody had the gun. They come, they arrest, he points, they arrest me. I'm trying to hide, get out of the car. They arrest me. My friends come at the thing, at the, what do you call, the police station. But when I got in the police station, we got before, one of the younger guy, grabbed me like this as soon as I got out. And I was about to lose conscience. I said, in French, je vais perdre connaissance. I'm gonna lose conscience. I didn't say I can breathe. Maybe I said it, but then I said, I'm gonna lose conscience. As soon as I said that, that guy take it out. So maybe that's better than saying I can't breathe, because there's a lot of fakers. They might think, well, he's talking, just say I'm gonna lose conscience. So he took it out. After that, we walked. He smashed my head on the concrete, but nothing happened to my head. Then question, why? And he says, you're an asshole. I said, no. He slapped me. He says, yes, you're an asshole. I said, no. I was very hard head. So after a while, they're laughing, they're shooting in the corridor, they're laughing, they see it's a fake gun. They say, the thing is done for us, go back home. I'm like, no, I want to write this down. What you guys did to me. Well, the thing is, look, we're in pressure sometimes. I have kids too. The older guy talked to me who made the arrest. Think about us. I got kids too. We're in pressure. Somebody calls the gun. I said, no, no, no. But you guys rough me off. I didn't say that. So I write everything that happened. And I said, this guy tells me that the thing is over for them. I go back home a month later, probably after the camera was over. A month later, I got a call from a woman saying, I gotta show up. And to my mom, they say, you gotta show up to court. If he says nothing happened, nothing's gonna happen to him. And of course, I said to the lawyer, well, listen, they hit me. I didn't do nothing bad, but I'll plead guilty because they say the justice, no, I can't do that. Then there was a little trial. One guy said he was dancing, looking drunk, but I was not. No, stone. I said, did you ever took some stone? You said, no. How do you know? Oh, you looking at the light, dancing with the strobe. I don't know what he says. It was nonsense. So I had something, but then one of my friends said, listen, you go disability, write your book. So I go there. By that time I had it, and I say, well, listen, I'm crazy. I'm not gonna do your hours. So I screw up the system. The system will screw me later for that, but that's another story. So now, from a spiritual point of view, there was some people, so I put pause. The spiritual point of view. Okay, Jesus told me once, there's only peace can come through me. Okay, so don't think the government will resolute. So government will always fail and somehow. Now sometimes the power goes to a black man like Obama, gay like him, tranny or not, his wife, and Muslim, he's Muslim. So there was Muslim that came, he made the deals, were gay. Look, even the devil or somebody at least in the right went, and let's call them sacrifice, not necessary at all, but sacrifice political, or what do you call when there was a collateral sacrifice or something like this, I don't know what to think about this in terms, but what I'm saying here is that, let's say Obama is wrong on the left and how he's doing things in a point of view sin, and that's truth. If you don't know, you're like me when I was young, 8 years, you're just selfish and you're blind, and that's it. You're just aiming for your buck. When you're gonna have your buck, maybe then, like I did, you're gonna start to understand a bit more. But until then, you're blind. So he knows that what he's doing is probably wrong by having his shit, but pedophilia doesn't help. One of the big things that people, why they don't turn back or trying to do good and still in hiding, political or not, or rich, it's because of pedophilia. People don't accept this, and so they have to hide for this. And this has been a long time. It did happen in the church. It did happen even in the East Church, and you haven't heard about it. Jesus told me this month. So there's 2 child abuse this world has. So anyways, so you've seen Obama with child in his lap. What kind of grown man does this? Like, seriously, what kind of grown man does this? It's not because he's married and he plays with his something with his wife that even more, maybe even more, because he's using that muscle. What are you doing with the child on your lap and smiling? I don't see you crying. I don't see you saying no. That's disgusting. I know he's not the Pope, but still, that's bullshit. That's a no. Already you have to have a certain percentage of pedophilia to do that. That's a no, man. I don't care if it looks more like normal than you would see Trump with a child on his lap because of he looks 5% or more like a Santa Claus, and there will be something and Santa Claus is hiding. I don't know. So what I'm saying here is that when Trump was this, one time I went to work and one guy said, look, the black guys worked for us before, and he was Arabic, and he says now we work for them. The point is not that. The point is, it was that in a sense. It's a power. Now, why Bush or other people from Skull and Bones on the left give that power to Obama and didn't care? Well, they still can do their pedophilia, they still can have money, they don't really care. These people are not for power absolute, they're there for other means, and power brings that, like money, woman, drugs. So they don't really care. But people that, example, know better or don't do pedophilia, maybe like Trump, maybe Trump likes women and don't have to hide because of pedophilia, and don't like drugs, will eat, whatever if he has a belly or not, will eat more instead of doing drugs. Or uh, holy shit. Again, as soon as I put my fucking thing, man, it looks back again. Please, when you see a guy doing a fucking video, mind your own fucking business. Because maybe that guy is thinking. Maybe he's not showing his dick. Maybe he's thinking and you're screwing him up. Let the two women pass there, black or white, doesn't matter. And then the fucking perfume. So I put pause, right? And then I waited. I thought they were gone. I don't see. I put an exactly looks back. I'm telling you, man. So fucking people are screw. Every time you're trying to make a movie out, that's Toronto. That's bullshit. They try to steal. That's another point I want to talk. You see, this U.S., like the movie GFK, or what was the movie? There's a dialogue. The N word was done. It says, "Hey, the N has the music." The Jewish, I don't know, and he said, "You, what do you have?" And the guy says, "We have the United States of America, or in the Good Shepherd." Now, for me, I think the natives should have this place, because I think the Christian should have been brought, but not to stay and live and overseas, but just to preach. That's my opinion. Now, we've seen it. England came, there was a revolution. I think that's bad, and it did happen, and then it stayed that for a while. I'm North Canadian in spirit. Quebec is gone. It's been stolen twice by English, maybe with US, and then England. Like the money's there too. That's another question. One of the last place, I think so, that should be independent, and it's not, because they brought a lot of other people from outside before. Like if it's 70% like in India, and then it's independent from England, or a lot of places colonized French, English, like other places that were colonized. Recently a lot it got free from that colonization, because people start to talk. There's TV now and everything, and but now at that place they brought a lot of people, immigrants. Even me, I was born in the 80s. Well, Quebec, they shoot there, and that obviously there's a plan for that, and that's what happened. Last referendum in the 95, I think it was by 1% they lost, and that's a lot of immigrants that were there. The guy said, "Oh, we lost because of immigrants," and then he took his resignation, Paris. So anyways, that's one of the question that I don't agree for that. I think they should be free. They're big, they have an economy, they have a story by themselves, and even now recently they start to almost trying to speak like French Canadian, which is not cool. First I left because of this, but now I really much more like, after I see what happened to friends, that they lost their identity, that now it's just somehow, but it's useless. um, it's a bit too late for that anyway. So saying this, when they put, and now Trump puts, so now, and everybody's in conscience, like now it's the white power again, in a sense. Well, why it has to be this? Because it's in the States. That's the devil in you, the devil in everybody, people, if you're not a saint. And there's this power. Let's say I see a guy, white or black, and there's this third thing, that power thing between us. of who rules. You see? Another time you can say, you say, well, it does equilibrate, and it's true. Sometimes it's the left. When it goes too much left, even people start to scream on the right, and then it goes right. It did happen to Trump. It did happen. By the way, I saw that Trump used the rules as an anti-abortion for Christian vote. That's how you get them. But then it did happen a little bit, so I won't talk about it. Much later, though, in Alabama and so it's better than nothing. Now, all the time, I would prefer a guy that leaves me free, like Trump, and leaves you to do something, and not like a police state, or not like devilish satanic left. People who got the power by selling their soul, otherwise they didn't have the money or the resource to be there. You see, Obama would not have been there, I think, without that. That's a fact. Without selling his soul, that's a fact. God told me Clinton will repent, but not Obama. Last year, I start to understand much more. He's a Muslim. How come this happened? Now you have to think that in this country, you have to think that in this country, now this Obama thing, okay, for example, or now Trump is in power. Like, first of all, I've said it, and then I see that some people repeat it in the news. Everybody is racist. Look, if I'm in Toronto, I get arrested, I'll go to jail. My first thing is to not get jumped by black guys because they're in the jail the most. In another city, if I go and there's white guys, I'll feel okay. I'll put a fair fight, or I don't have to worry. But if I go in a black thing, I know that they're gonna walk over me. Even in the jails, anywhere, like you would see that in the States here, right? So, are they racist there? In countries, if I go and we go everybody, and let's say even as slaves or nothing, like black people happen in the States, and then we get the freedom, and then we on the low side because let's say Asians wouldn't give us big jobs or something, only after a while, and in meantime we do what's minimal. We eat a lot, we live in buildings, we make a lot of kids, we take the government, and we eat and shit and fuck and make a lot of kids. Excuse my language, I shouldn't talk like this religious place. I do apologize. I moved because there was a woman taking pictures there. So if this, like, it did happen, this is not like me inventing stuff. It does do happen. Now, I'm not blaming nobody. You might be better than me, whatever your color is, and probably so, but maybe, and maybe half of you. So what happens is that if I go in India or China or anybody, a lot of white, at a certain point, even if they accept it, they're gonna rebel. People, they're gonna say, oh, that's enough. Let's say we're 60% of them. After a while, think they're gonna this happen? No. So do you think that I'm gonna go live in Arab if I do crimes, or in a countries, or like money or drugs, or you can drink if I like to drink? Or you think now that I would go and live in Africa or in Asia or anywhere, and if I do a crime, you think I'm gonna start to scream at police officers or something? They're humans too, and the devil's in them too. They might beat me up a little bit. Now today, don't think that this is new. This has been a long time. It's just that today everybody has a camera. Everything that you're doing, somebody can pick a camera, and then it goes on. The whole world can see it. So this what happened with this man. Fortunately, again, how he died, even if it was for a fake $20. Excuse me to repeat. If he went to the risk, I'm pretty sure if the risk was you'll get killed when you get arrested, he might say no. Now there was a lot of killings of black people in the states. You can have guns, so the police are more serious. There's a lot of there that not in Canada. You gotta pay your tax. You can go to jail. They can pay. So even me, if I would have grew up like this, I wouldn't have fuck around like I did when I was a kid. Even with a fake gun, I would have heard the whole FBI and something. God knows if I would have been like, you know, I cannot beat them. Might as well join them. I don't know if I would have ended up in the force or in the intelligentsia, and at least by the same know about the church and find Jesus. At least here there was nothing in Canada. Everything in the air for you to learn. You know, you don't pay your tax. You get cash money. Everybody's a lot of corruption in Toronto. They work, they get government, financial, everything. You get checks, you change it at the cashier that doesn't know with the government. Everything is not like in the States. So you see, the States they protect because the people who own the States also used to own the whole world, with maybe the same people in Europe. But with this owning, and now they lose it by population of other ethnic or something, and now they put this president who knows better, Trump, I guess, as a family, maybe because of that, or seriously, I don't know, not rumors like training like Obama, and God knows today, women can be men, men can have kids, and all this. I don't know if it's happened. Whatever in the Ellen show, you can see some pouch there for Michelle. I don't know. All I know is I do know he's Arab. I do know he looks. I do know he tumbled with the tongue once. I do know he's a old ugly Arab. Like one of my dreams said that the church went to the old ugly Arab. So I don't know, man. But I'm telling you, why do you think he's not walking with protester and especially without bodyguard? One, even maybe a black guy will punch him in the face. Why? Because he's rich and the black guy will not be happy. It's demon inside of him, because there's a lot of demons. There's demons that even are in poverty because they just want to destroy everything. And in this world, you get trouble. And there's demon of anger and they destroy everything, and they go in jail and they destroy again and they kill. It doesn't work. There's other demons that will bother ass, get raped, if it mean, or sell their soul or sell their body to, or both, to get rich, which I wouldn't do. And that's why you see in a lot of arts they're homosexual. They jump the line, they cheat, they distorted the line by getting pushed there from the back. Especially that, guys, ain't nothing I'm gonna do even for the whole world money. I'm telling you, nobody's, fuck you, nobody's gonna change me, making me look like a little android or something. Ain't no fucking nobody. You can keep your billions of dollars, nobody's fucking my ass. You understand? And if it does, you better run, because I'm gonna kill you. So I'm telling you, you give me the whole fucking world, I ain't nobody's fucking my ass. Now, if you don't say that, you're gay, and that means you're getting fucked by the devil if you're a guy, and that's okay. I mean, it's not okay. Other people, it did happen when they were young, and it might be a lesser thing, unfortunately for them. And but it's not their fault. You got to remember, it's not your fault. Absolutely. Maybe you didn't talk about it a little bit when somebody did like this or this to you, a stranger, and then because you didn't report it. Hey, one time one guy did to me like this. I couldn't breathe after school while walking back, and he knew my brother, or he lived in the other place building. Can't remember him. I barely knew him, but he lived around. I reported to my mother. I said I almost passed out. I couldn't breathe. I had problem breathing with my nose. So my mom told, the cops came. My mom screamed. I said, hey, touch again my son, you have to report it. And there was a pedophile around them. If I wouldn't have reported, maybe that guy who got abused would have tried to abuse me in the future too. even though he was young. You understand? So you gotta say it immediately. And if it's in your sleep, Jesus told me, you scream, Jesus, help me. You're gonna see that guy's gonna freeze out. That's the power of the Spirit gonna come around. It's acting in the invincible, and now you put it in the hands of God. That you can test it, you can try it, see for yourself. He's gonna stop. At that point, you might say, God, why you let that? And it won't happen. The guy's gonna turn, wouldn't know, because God can also control anybody's mind. He can make you forget for 1 hour if he wants, but God is holy. He won't do just for fun. Your name. That's why in the Bible you read one against 1,000, and the older army started to hit themselves because they were in the confusion. God's one made them appear the other guy with another face or something, attack. Whoa, anything. I'm telling you, this is like a painter you're taking, and you can do any color. If you have God, you can do anything with any anything. I'm sorry, because I recently got mad at God, and that's makes me think it's very stupid, man. But anyways, so thinking about that, we have to mind also Archie Mountbatten, which now what goes around comes around. U.S. revolution from England. Now England comes back in an Archie Mountbatten, and this guy want or want not, and it's very unfortunate because they were good shepherd that got taken down, and I'm talking about JFK, real like Catholics, Christian, who saved in the Cold War and stuff like this, you know, and they got taken down by the that family back then, and there was back then even the right Republican like Bush Senior, Freemason Rise, God showed me, and he was a big face and full of blood compared to the other guys. You know, you've seen the videos, they talk about the New World Order and everything. They were right Republicans, but they completely left now. Like you've seen Bush, his son being with Clinton and Obama and friends, which they are in blue Democratic, and actually these guys, that's what happened when a Democrat infiltrates by taking out and going Republican, or just because let's say Clinton was so big in the left, they going in the other direction. That's very bad. When a guy in the left with abortion and not tradition for nothing goes to the right, that's a lot of bullshit and secrets happen. This is what I was thinking last night, and so I'm sharing to you. So now you get this Trump family again and whatever. I got nobody's gonna be perfect. Yeah, and if a guy comes from poor, like I saw Archie Mountbatten, will give everything away, that's a fake bullshit antichrist, and will be able to walk on the street because he's like, okay, if I'm rich, I can walk outside without a protector or something. They ain't gonna like me. I'm gonna might get punched. So if I want to rule, I have to be poor to please everyone. Okay, some people who are not corrupt might do this for God. Because for what then? To be known by everybody? That's bad. Might be the Antichrist. Now, if it's for God, that's okay. And I'm pretty sure God's gonna call him one time. Somebody's gonna kill him, and when it's time to go home, because everybody that when it's time to go home, usually they get martyred. Now, other people get killed too sometimes by messing around, thinking, "Oh, I'll serve God tomorrow." That's another thing. Now, this guy. Now, if you start to share everybody, watch out, man. The Antichrist, because people still will recognize you for that, and you can almost. I won't talk more about it, but I see what God showed me, and I see where it's going, and so also we saying playing by the rules. There was Obama. I was not happy. I'm not gay. I'm not. Democrat, I'm not left, I'm not satanic, and I'm not even gonna mention the color because it has nothing to do. But I'm not Muslim, that I'll mention. Because his dad was Muslim and he was Muslim and he did a contract with Iran and stuff like that, that the enemy of that country. So, and why they did it, why people will put Obama like a puppet, because 9/11 happened, and then calm down those people and go to some country, they put that, and then when they put, it's always like a balance. About balance, I want to say something else. God told me 2021, 1400 years after the New Age, and 621 was the birth of Islam. When I researched it, I didn't know. That's New Age birth. Same New Age that you see today. And it started over there. That's the spirit of antichrist religion. And now Clinton was there, and it was a fallout shelter. I received an invitation as an artist. 2021 Clinton, 1400 years after New Age. Now this prophecy in 2018 beginning has been beat up. I put it. I made sure Clinton and everybody had it, and that New Age is bad. That New Age is bad, and she might repent it, and God told me she'll repent, but not Obama. So that's very scary. That's the first time I heard that. It's almost like if God's gonna condemn or see why, and that can only be by somebody that wouldn't declare Jesus the Lord. But that's very bad. That's very bad. Like, my God doesn't condemn nobody; he leaves people change. But for me to hear Obama will not repent is one of the most mysterious thing. It's almost like you think the Antichrist spirit. Like, okay, he sold his soul. A lot of people do it, but it's like he said, "I'll never, never turn back." Like how God, I know God knows the future, but to even allow me to say it and say that I received that, it's something. It's something that I don't like to say I don't understand, but I'll probably understand. But still today, after a year, I'm not. Why is it? I'm gonna think about it. It's not something that I like to think about it. But anyways, so we spoke about Archie, we spoke about Trump, we spoke about other countries. They're all racist, and also the equilibrium. Jesus said, I'm not gonna come to quit the world. I'm gonna come unless nobody's saved. And he says, by the way, Jesus said, by the way, what he said, also, if Satan is against Satan, in these countries in the world, one kingdom against the other one. He says, how can his kingdom survive? See, now we're looming about World War III here, and how can his kingdom survive? And he asked the question. People back then didn't even know about atomic bomb and everything. Might only think, well, there's armies they're killing, but there's always gonna be something. But now, bomb and a chain reaction, whatever. I know the world is big. They say why U.S. wouldn't attack Iran. It's too big. The Russians said. Imagine other part, but the chaotic of it. Like what I'm saying here, oh, that would be nasty if this happened. World War III. What is this light? And you see, Clinton already, and that I hated that already before in plain campaign for presidency talks smack at Russia. Now Russia, I think we all could agree that, or some, that they're one of the most macho people in the world, because maybe the cold and how it is, and the style, the drinking, it's the style there, you know. Uh, Now, saying this, it's like the left talking against now the right of Russia. And Putin did a good thing. Putin is like an angel following. Watch out if he goes out, that will be very bad for the whole world. And very, very bad for the stability of the world. Now, despite I'm not happy that he let Gaddafi, which was against armament, go out, that was very bad. And that he still puts for the armament. Whatever he said, it's my duty to make sure my people can defend themselves. I, to a certain degree, but this is what about it? Jesus, man. You can put it in God's. God can do anything. God, I won't do another army, but I'm putting this in your hands. I don't know now. You might think, hey, do you think they're gonna let me rule this world like this, or my country? They're gonna take me out themselves, saying, "Hey, for the best of our country." Well, you play with fire, you might have to go with fire. If you have to stop playing with fire, you might have to go too. They killed Jesus, saying for the best of a nation. Now, and that's bad excuse. It's just for this satanic or devil world to continue. And this Clinton was talking against, and I could not, every time that I was saying madness, madness, that was like, for me, I don't know if she knows, but they wanna fuck around their reputation, the Russians, since they're macho, to accept that the woman talks against her, rule the world to the West, even though they have friends within or not, and then rule for 4 or 8 years. It wouldn't have happened. The war would have happened for sure. I'm telling you. And so sometimes people says that they receive Jesus saying this is one of the last moment with Trump, an extension, a thing. That might be the truth. Now we can see that the devil wouldn't be happy with this, and thus maybe Trump talk about the witch hunt and everything, and goes around. Even this fake pope said, "Oh, there's no Christian. He's not a Christian building walls." But the economy. What about these fucking assholes? Fucking bullshit popes and shit. Not all of them. Some. For me, it's Ratzinger. That's a false one. This one, pedophilia and shit. What about all the money they have? I go there, power. One person, I was preaching and living out for Jesus and preaching all day. One woman came after the church outside and say, "Jesus told me to give you that." One woman gave me a check, $100. Nobody saw it. Another, and God was purveying because I gave everything for God. I was even giving to the poor and preaching every day. Now, look at this. One time I go to a church. After church, I'm in the service, not like a beggar. I go out, one woman, "Jesus told me to give you that. It's a $10. I have $20. I went to the Canadian Tower, was a coat 125 and special because maybe it was all white, $25. I had just. But in meantime, when she gives me that, I'm saying hi to the priest and saying hi, and when the woman says in front of the priest, "Jesus told me to give you that $10. The guy gave me the fucking evil eye, and I saw God face to face, alone in His glory. And not a lot of saints do that. Not maybe I was better, I was atheist, but that's to show you. And it still hurt me. Of course, I gotta forgive, but that's the pieces of shit that goes in the school. Pieces of shit, motherfuckers, thinking they're priests because of that. You're a priest by your heart. You're a fucking piece of shit, dude. I might be his brother. I might be maybe the 10 who came before here. The Bible says there's angels here. And you look at somebody bad like this, that somebody give only a $10 and say, "Fuck you, man, and I was a kid starving too because I'm smashed here." You don't know the fucking what you, and a priest in Canada too should deserve to go in the fucking gulags, man. Fucking asshole. If I was Pope, I will clean everywhere inside. Everybody that will see lazy or eating too any kinds of bullshit, I want to see you in 2 weeks. Everything. Any fucking rumor after a little study and praying for God for a vision or something, any bullshit. Return to tradition. Fucking assholes. When the church goes down, the whole world goes down. And you see this motherfucker? There's nobody in there, that fucking big church. For years. I cursed that motherfucker. He left. They sent him to Brazil. Even the other guys, there were three here. Why? I was working Divine Mercy Apostolate. I was in the woods, and I came, and one time, for my first time, because I was really proud, begging was not my thing. I just came, and there's a shrine there with a statue, and I came, and I just like, God, where am I going? And I'm like, let me, like, I asked the first woman, can I have $5? And like this, literally, because I was like, I had all these missions that I was wanted for God, and I didn't know where to start. And she says, of course, somebody saw it, report to him. And I even give him me poor before $50. He says, you sure? Maybe you needed more. I say, no, no, I insist. And that motherfucker, one time I did ask, one time only, somebody reported. Can you fucking imagine? I cursed that fucking place. I left. When I left, even Jesus, I remember I cursed this fucking place. I left. They fucking left the place. The whole fucking thing they wanted to sell, they couldn't. So worth 125 fucking million. They have the whole fucking thing. I asked God recently, give it to me. He says too much money. If it's too much for one, it might be fucking too much for everybody. Anyways, and that's the gardener's house before. It was the highway here in Toronto. Uh, a lot of history. I've been there. I've seen that there was festivity before. There's a little lake there. Well, anyways, I won't talk about all this. I publish it. They were looking also after the festivities. They all had these robes. Like what's the church? They have different colors, and they were looking with the eyes back then, and then trying to sleep with somebody else and hiding in these woods or whatever they were doing. Anyways, so this left here. Now we got the right with the right, but imagine now it's almost like Russia, and if there's a left in US, it seems like now it's the time, the face off, like World War. And we've seen that Russia has its dogs, which, not its dogs, but its fighters with China. China will not go against Russia because the communist history, and knowing that China, Russia could have went before that. And this is one thing I wanted to tell people. There's a lot of people saying, "Oh, look, the U.S. what they did." You never heard who's behind U.S. Is it England? Is it mixed with Jewish? Is it mixed with what? You hear the Illuminati. What I wanted to say is this too. Did you ever think that even with the bombs and everything, they did make wars? And yes, God will judge, Vietnam and stuff. Always been up and downs in every institution, in the church, outside the church. But why I wanted to tell you this is, did you ever also think that they could have went and almost invade the whole world, or not the whole world, but a lot, when they could, and they didn't? No, you tell why. Well, they still made sure they own the world with companies. Like Nestle is the most thing that sells, and McDonald's everywhere and everything. It goes to the pyramid up. But and if they start the war, they still lose for that. But they might have other financial and other points. But the point is this: if they didn't, where's your respect for that at a certain point? Could we say that if China in 1940 were as big as the States or around, will not have tried to invade the whole world for a race, or Africa? I don't know. So, if they had the power and they want to keep a hand in this evil world, could you blame them? Now, of course, the other ones that have suffered, being another color or another race, because they let this happen slowly, not invade, because they had the interest and said, well, let's make money instead of invading them with companies and everything. They're getting ground. They're multiplying more because the white who owns, oh, I don't need 10 kids. I have everything, I'm taking it easy, right? Or they have, but The other ones knows what's the first thing you wanna before you stop being a slave. You wanna eat a lot, so a lot of here you see them big. They eat, they go in sport, they go, they eat shit, fuck. Government pays too, or not. Can you blame them? All I can say is you can blame them if they don't follow Jesus. But if they choose wrong, what's the first thing? You eat, you sleep, that's important. But the other one that is more dark is more like it's another form of selfish. It's getting rich and rich and rich, and you die, you cannot bring nothing. So getting rich for whatever, and then in meantime, there's more an abortion, selfish, another form of selfish. In meantime, the other people that knows that under, they have the thinking that we under, so it's already in their thoughts when they grow up to not kill themselves too. So there's less abortion, there's more multiplication. That's gonna help everybody. So you've seen India and China, and even Africans in the states uh, multiplying probably much more than the white people. Even here in Toronto, I'm a rarity. I don't like it. I go because they look at me, everything. They invade my fucking space. Suddenly I'm two with them and they full of shit. Of course, there's things to protect for you. There's a suit, so they'll think, oh, this guy's business. So they distance. They getting too close with their heart. I don't like. That's why maybe before God gave me the tundra, or you got a religious thing, or even a fucking blanket today, I told myself. At least I'm gonna have peace in the bus or something. They ain't gonna come fucking next to me like they're trying to fuck me. Because every time it takes my fucking energy, and with my health being worse than it looks, it brings me down. I don't like it. I don't do this to people. You don't see me going even when I was a bit sick to a woman, hey, hey, pretending I'm drunk or something. So bottom line, if you're a minority or not, be nice. Be nice, stop the crime. And I won't even talk about these motherfucking looters, whatever they are, white or not. Hey, I'm poor. I don't even know if there was a fucking thing now that I won't go even myself stealing something. Everybody has a mask, everybody's covered, like the coronavirus prepare it. And also you gotta point in mind that it's not because of Trump. There's because this coronavirus and people less at work, there's a lot more looters. A lot more. People will have otherwise went to work and then this protest, too tired, I'm going to sleep, I gotta go work. And and you go, you have to wash, then you have to catch up back with family, then you whatever. Now they have nothing to do, a lot more looters. And some people just curious, have something, they have nothing to do, put a fire. Like 2 weeks ago, before this happened, four guys I've seen here sleeping close by, they put in the fucking pavement when people go with families. So you ain't gonna guys do that. Hey, we got nothing to do with the fucking kids, man. A fucking fire. I should know that this was coming. And this what happened, man. And yeah, especially in these times, I won't go and live in China more than a vacation. You never know. Imagine if the war is starting or something. They'll arrest you thinking you're a spy. I don't know when you're gonna go out from that fucking jail. If you're in their country, they'll come even if you have nothing to do. They'll arrest you. Everybody is fucking racist that doesn't follow Jesus, man. Only Jesus is love. Why? Because only Jesus is love. The other is fake love. The other is a love like a selfish love, like a sex, something that you want back. Oh, I love you, but you need that person because it makes you have what you want. Only Jesus is the true love. That is like a love that you don't need something back. It's a love that heals the heart, like a real one. You know, pets do that sometimes because he looks up on you and trusts you. You can smash that pet, but you don't, and he trusts you and you love it. You know, other people they have pets and they hurt it, but I won't talk about these assholes. I don't know what kind of a Christian they could be. One last thing. I heard it's enough, but one last thing. You see, I left Toronto. There was too much Indian recently, and God told me it's coronavirus because of that. Because no falsehood of religion will overtake His religion. That's a promise. Otherwise, it's a threat for the whole souls of all the people who will be saved. So coronavirus, it slowed down. Now you got a lot of looters because of that, multiplying by a lot. And me, I left. I left Toronto. I came back. Unfortunately, my mom was sick. I went to Vancouver. I felt very much more better. I took a bus today, and one guy came next to me, Indian. I don't care. And the bus was empty. He comes next to me, no headphones. So I go in the front. I go in the front. A guy came, Filipino. I don't care. I actually didn't even thought what race they were. Fucking smells like woman. A lot perfume. I said, why would I want him to